And we are live. Welcome back, everybody. It's another Tuesday night chit chat, and it is the last day of September. I cannot believe where this year is gone. Christmas is going to be here, like right around the corner. Anyway, so I hope everybody's having a great week. I'm having a good week despite myself. So I'll give y'all a brief catch up a little bit. The lady that was supposed to buy the house did not. She disappeared or ghosted us and the title company. And the plus side of that is our abstract is brought up to date and ready to go. So the next buyer, it should not take as long to close. But she did do a disappearing act, and shame on her. So it happens. You know, it is what it is. What else happened? Oh, yes. So y'all know, because I told you about it, when they put the French drains in, they kind of really messed up my yard. But I got over it, took a chill pill, calmed down. Well, I'm getting new internet service, and it had never been run to the house before, so they had to run a line. And it was a hot day, and the gentlemen were, let's just say I wouldn't have hired them, okay? And they were trying to go the shortest distance, which was right across my yard. And it happened to be on an afternoon when my grandson was here. So I went outside, and because they had dug up half of the yard, they were trying to go just diagonally across the yard the shortest possible way they could go. So I went out and I said, "Hey guys, let's run it along the wall that you've been running it down," because they had to come 2 yards over, and then down the fence, and then you're just not very far from the house at all, and you can just jog over and poop, you're right there. Well, my grandson, 6 years old, goes outside, one shoe on, one shoe off, and proceeds to tell them that if it would be faster if they just did it the right way the first time. At this point, I ushered him back inside. It was hysterical. I don't think they thought it was funny. Yeah, but these two big grown men that were probably, 6.5 feet tall and 400 pounds apiece, and they're out there sweating to death, and there's this little 6-year-old telling them, just do it right the first time. Don't know where he heard that from. Anyway, let's see who is here. Brady Brett made it in. Hi Brady. And Miss Evelyn made it in. Hello, Sly. Have a great show. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. I really appreciate that. And Randy made it in. Hello, Sly. I have not gotten to see which camera you would take on vacation yet, but I'm curious. And he's saying hello to everyone. And Uncle G made it in. Hello, everyone. Hope we're all having a great week so far. That Uncle G, as you guys know, is my son, and he is an amazing force of nature. So I put him on a task, and I didn't hear back from him for several hours, like, I don't know, 20 hours. And when I do hear back from him, he's like, he has got everything down pat. He's like, this is who you need to call, and this is what they're going to do. And he just had everything, all the ducks in a row. I'm so proud of that kid. He can take charge. My daughter is the same way, but I didn't give her the task. I gave it to him. So, and Roy made it in. Good day, Sly. Good day, Roy. I should probably, I'll do that in a minute. And Randy said, I can't make up my mind. You got too many to pick from. Something small, lightweight, that you'll have when you need it, but it won't weigh you down when you don't. So, speaking of, if Jeff comes in tonight, we are going to get to hear about his trip to Turkey. I don't know if the emails made it back and forth in time, so it may not be this week, it may be next week, and we're not sure how to do the pictures. I don't know if he has to send them to me and then I put them up, or if he can put them up from his end. So it's going to be a learning experience, but tonight I want to talk to you about fakes. Okay? Fakes have been around forever. There's, even as a teenager, I remember fake Rolex watches. Problem was, unless you were a watch guru, you really couldn't tell a fake from a real one, and so a lot of people were buying fakes thinking they were getting really good deals. If it's a really good deal, it's probably a fake. Okay, so I look at bags. I'm kind of a bag guru, okay? So I'm looking at this website, and this Belroy bag pops up for a ridiculously cheap price, okay? Now I want to show you what it looked like if I can make this work. Okay. It says Belroy right on it, right? And it was like $24. The actual Belroy is like $90. Okay. So 24 is a ridiculously cheap price, and so you know it's a fake. But, and even though I know it's a fake, I wanted to get it to see how bad it was or how good it was, right? Now, I don't know that I condone buying fake bags, because someone is taking someone else's work and making money off of it. But as you guys can see, this has the Belroy name right on it, okay? I have a Belroy bag, and I will warn you right now, it's kind of dirty on the inside because I didn't clean it before tonight, so sorry about that. This is, I've done my top 3 favorite slings, and this is one of them. This is the Light Sling Mini, and the one off this website is the Light Sling. It's not the Mini, it's the regular size. So it is a little bigger. But as you can see, it says Belroy right on it. The tags that come with it. Now, it did come, I will tell you, it came in a plain plastic bag. Okay? Belroy does not. So that was the first discrepancy. And it says Belroy on the bag. It has the Belroy tags. If you look on the inside, everything is in English, just like, so Belroy is an Australian company. Roy, you probably know who they are. And so everything is in English. Let me see if I can show you guys, if I can get it up close enough. Everything's in English, front pocket, bike light loop, room to grow, lightweight foldable. I mean, it looks exactly like a Belroy tag, right? That's exactly how their tags come. And it even says Belroy.com, and that it wants you to register the bag. I mean, everything about this Belroy Light Sling, everything about this looks like it's a Belroy bag. It's a fake. Now, it's like, how do you know it's a fake? It's got the tags. Well, for starters, it was $26 or $24 or whatever it was. It was less than $30. Okay. Now, for starters is the material. And I'm going to get a close-up of this so you guys can see it. Okay, you see how it's like a diamond, kind of a diamond material? Okay, Belroy doesn't have that material. Their material is more, and it's really hard to see on this pattern, but it's got little X's. Okay, and aside from looking at it, you can feel the difference. Okay, this is a much more premium feel, whereas this is it's lighter weight, but it's not the premium feel of the actual Belroy. Okay, they do have a lot of similarities, but the second thing I noticed right off the bat was the strap. And again, I'll try to show you the difference here. I can get these where you can see it. Okay, so this is the Belroy strap. It's a little bit thicker. It's kind of rough, but this is the knockoff, and you can tell the quality. I don't know if you can tell it on camera, but this is a much higher quality strap than what this is. So then we come to the buckle. Now, I'm not really a buckle person. I just slide it on over my head. The buckles look very similar upon first glance. Let's see if I can get these in my hands. Okay, so these are the two buckles. Bellroy's buckle, they're both magnetic. They both work great, just fine. Bellroy's buckle actually is what makes the compression on this bag. Okay, so where this part is, it's not adjustable, but as you pull the strap, it compresses the bag. This is just a little bit nicer. It's not head and shoulders up nicer, it's just a little bit nicer than, let's see if I can show these to you. Okay, this is the Bellroy, and this is the knockoff. This is just a little more premium, but they both work great. Neither one of them have a brand name on them, so I can't fault them for that. The Bellroy has the AquaGuard YKK zippers, and they say on every zipper, I can get that up where you can see it, it actually says YKK. The zippers on the knockoff, get this up here where you can see it, they don't say anything. Okay, there's still an AquaGuard zipper. It's still got that coating on it, but it's not a YKK zipper. Okay, and then the other, the key loop. Now the inside has the pockets it's supposed to have, and then the key loop is actually nicer on the knockoff, in my opinion. Your mileage may vary, but I don't really use them anyway. But this is Bellroy's, and it's kind of a cheap plastic. I don't know. I've never been impressed with it. This is the knockoff. It's still plastic, but it's a lot nicer. So there's that. But here was the kicker when I opened the bag. So Bellroy bags, even if they're black, they have a light interior so you can see what's going on in there. I can see so. Let me see if I can open that any further. Like I said, this is the Light Sling Mini, but they all have this light interior, and the knockoff does not. So there are a couple of pockets in here, just like on the light, but the interior's black. And the interior is whatever color the bag is, which on the Bellroy, it's not. It doesn't matter really what color bag you get, you're going to get that light interior. So the zipper pulls are very comparable. This is where I got the idea for the paracord and heat shrink zipper pulls, was from Bellroy. They're very comparable. I have no qualms about the zipper pulls. But again, when you open it, again, black. And it even has a Bellroy little saying thing in there. Bellroy always puts like a little saying in their bags. And like I said, this one's really dirty, so don't judge me. It needs to go in the wash. But as you can, they have, a little saying right there. So here's the kind of the last thing I'll say about this. Bellroy, the inside pocket goes pretty much all the way across. Okay, it has a zippered pocket on this one, but it only goes this far. It does not go all the way across, so it's a little bit harder to fish something out of there. Not bad, but for the price difference, now if the actual Bellroy was the size, it would be $90. This one was, I think it was $26. Are there enough discrepancies that you think this is a bad buy? That's kind of my question of it. I do like the bigger size, although I've carried this one for over a year and I'm kind of used to it, but I do wish it was just a tad bigger. So I do like the bigger size. This is not a bad bag, especially for $26. It kind of upsets me that they are like, I don't know. I just don't think they should have had a Belroy name on it. So I don't know who makes this bag. I don't have any idea. But I wish they hadn't tried to pass it off as a Belroy. Because it's not a bad bag. But don't pass it off as something it isn't. That's the only thing about knockoffs that bother me. Is if you're going to go to the trouble to copy somebody, okay, they did a fair job copying them. They actually did better than fair. They did a really, I'm going to give it a 70% job of copying an actual Belroy. Don't put Belroy's name on it. Put your own name on it. That's all I'm saying. So, what do you guys think? Is a fake worth buying, or would you rather have the real McCoy? Roy says, I've never heard of Belroy. Well, they're supposed to be based out of Australia. Now, I don't think their bags are made in Australia, but they tout they're designed in Australia. So, Roy says, I only worry about fake memory cards and filters. Okay, that brings me to another point. So, a lot of times a fake will actually have, like, it won't perform as well as the original. Okay, so you do kind of have to, watch, but we're talking a sling bag here. So you could buy 4 of these, almost 4 of these, for the price of one actual Belroy. If this thing lasts a year, I think I've got my $26 out of it. So I just don't think in all things that fakes are bad. I do think in all things they should put their own name on it instead of trying to pass it off as a Rolex or a Belroy or what have you. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Roy, because I wouldn't want to use a fake memory card either, because a lot of what I film is just everyday stuff, but some of it, like Christmas, you don't want to lose that. So yes, I 100% agree that there are a lot of times where you need to buy the brand name because it's better quality. And it is here too. The Belroy is definitely the better quality. The knockoff, whereas it's acceptable, and I'll use this. We'll just see how long it lasts. It's not as robust as the Belroy. It's still light, which that's, this is a light also. This is the light mini, and this is just touted as a light. But you can still feel the quality difference. The Belroy is definitely a step above. So, but does that make it a something you wouldn't want to carry? So, I'm just curious. Randy says, I usually care about the zipper that comes off the bags. I've spent hours trying to put the zipper back on track. If I really get frustrated and I cut into the bag to get my stuff out of it. So I have a bag from Wandered that the zipper is just, the way they put it on the bag, they tried to get the zipper to do too much. So it's a large bag, and they tried to get the zipper to go around too many corners. And so what ended up happening, it didn't really get off track, but after opening and closing and opening and closing, it got to where now there's like a little, it doesn't close all the way. There's a little extra zipper material in there. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And that's just one of those things where it can happen even on a name brand bag. So, like I said, if this thing lasts a year, That's going to be kind of my yardstick. If this will last until next October, with pretty, not daily use, because I tend to switch out my sling bags depending on my outfit. Okay, I don't judge. So like if I was wearing this shirt, I would probably pull out my flight sling that's blue and pick up the blue in my shirt. If I'm wearing black or gray, this would be perfect. And I generally don't like black as far as bags, but I like this one. So now, I'm not, like I said, I haven't tried it out. I haven't tested it. I don't really use the magnet part because I just put it on over my head, if I can see so, and off I go, right? And so it feels good. It feels okay. Now, I haven't tried it with a tank top to know if this rougher strap would be scratchy, but I don't wear that many tank tops, so it's not really a problem. So we'll see. I'll give it's a little workout and test it out for a year or so. If it lasts that long. If it doesn't, I'll let you know. But I'm just thinking for the price, I wish they had even named it Roy Bell or something. But the Bellroy branding, it does bother me a little bit. Nobody's going to know. I've not had one single person ever come up and ask me what bag I'm carrying. So I don't really think non-bag people worry about it. I mean, I've gone to fairs, I've gone everywhere with a sling bag, and I've never had anybody come up and ask me what brand that is. So yeah, there's that. People that have Bellroys have it for themselves. Okay. In fact, that's why I bought this one, because I wanted to have a Bellroy bag. I actually had another one, which I sold because I didn't like it. It wasn't a light. It was like their original sling bag, and it was too small, too heavy. The fabric was too heavy, and I didn't like it. It wasn't a good fit for me. So the light series is a good fit for me. And when I saw that, I knew what they'd done, but I just kind of wanted to get it and see it. It took a long time to get here. Came from across the ocean, but that's okay. I just kind of wanted to test it out and see. And you're right, Randy. Zippers kind of can make or break a bag, and I think if you even try to work on a zipper that's stuck, I rarely do. If I get very frustrated and I'll just end up ripping the thing, or I don't think I've ever ended up cutting one, but I have ripped a few out. So, now it's funny because let me get rid of all this stuff. There we go. And Ecamm puts my face up on like 9 different places. It's a little annoying. Okay. So, what other bag? Oh, if any of you guys are traveling more probably in a car than on a plane, I would say, I have a little bitty duffel bag from 511 that is absolutely the bomb diggity for weekends. I throw 3 packing cubes in there and I'm fantastic. Well, Arctic makes a duffel bag that is absolutely wonderful, and I just happened to be at Target today. The black one is half price. So, and I think it's good through Thursday. So if you're looking for a medium-sized duffel that you can just kind of throw like a week's worth of stuff in and throw it in your car, it's $30. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And Arctic, I do like Arctic stuff. Roy says, a TDA guy showed me how easy it is to get into a zipper with a pin. Yeah, it's really easy. So here's kind of the way I look at it. If I really care about losing it, it's in my backpack with me on the plane. So the only thing that goes in the checked bag are my clothes, pretty much my clothes. I think when I went to Las Vegas one time, I put a tripod in my bag, in my checked bag. But if it's important to me and I wouldn't want to lose it, it is on the plane with me. So my son is getting ready to fly to Colorado, and guess who's going to do his packing? This girl. Because not that he's not fully capable of doing the packing a bag, I'm just way better at it. So we work to our strengths and ignore our weaknesses. But yes, you can take a pen and just zip, because there is no zipper that closes 100%. They all have a little bitty gap, so you can put a pin in there and just open that right up. Especially now, if it's locked, that you can't do that. But you can grab both zippers and run them back and forth with a pin. But if it's locked, where the two zippers are locked together, then you can't really open it like that. But I don't lock my bag. If they're that hard up that they need my clothes, I can get new clothes when I get there. So I'm not too worried about my clothes. But I can't really think of what else I put in that bag. Because pretty much everything, my laptop, my cameras, everything like that was in my backpack with me. So I do take, which way, I don't know which way I need to move. I do take that Core Surf. That's my flight bag. And I still haven't found one I like better. There's a bunch of them that only have like one side opens. So I guess it opens like a duffel. But I like the organization of that. And Uncle G will probably take that one because it's bigger. His clothes are bigger. He's bigger. And so he can carry the weight. And then I'll give him a duffel as his carry-on. So I think I've already given him a duffel, actually, for his last trip when he went to Dallas. I think he went to Dallas. But yeah, so that's kind of... Have you guys ever bought a fake knowing it was a fake? Or have you ever bought a fake thinking it was real? I mean, unless you're really... Like, if I didn't have a Bellroy and this was my first one, I would not know that it wasn't. Because the tags, everything on it says Bellroy. So they could really... And then I would be on here going, guys, I got a Bellroy bag for $26. Yeah, no, it's probably not going to happen. And then all you guys would be going, yeah, it's probably a fake, Sly. And it is. But that's, I have heard of fake purses, like high-end, what is that, Prada, and what's the other one, Fendi, or something like that, that you really have to be on the watch for fake purses. Well, I haven't carried a purse in probably forever. I don't know that I ever, maybe like very short stints in my life, I've tried to carry a purse and it just never worked for me. I've always been a backpack person. So it's just so much easier to sling it over. I guess you do put a purse on one shoulder too. So I don't know. I've always been a backpack person. It just fits my lifestyle better. Fits me better. My personality. That is one thing. My son, we went out to eat for his birthday, and by the way, happy birthday, Uncle G. And he was telling me he was thinking he would look good in a certain hairstyle, but it didn't really fit his personality. And I'm like, well, if it looks good on you, then it would fit your personality. But yeah, okay. So purses just don't fit my personality. I've just pretty much always been a backpack person. So, and now look, I'm engulfed in it. Roy says, I've bought fake batteries. Okay, so when you say fake batteries, were they marketed as the real thing? Like, did they say Canon on them, but they weren't Canon batteries? Because I have bought aftermarket batteries from, I think it's called Wasabi. If I'm butchering that, I could very well be. Wasabi, Wasabi, I think. And they work fantastic. They work really, really well. I don't tend to use off-market batteries for my action cameras, and I could not tell you why. It's just a mindset. But for my M6 Mark IIs and my G7X, my Canon that I sold, and the M200s, I use Wasabi batteries. So the only negative about using an aftermarket battery, Canon's chargers don't recognize them. So you have to use the chargers supplied by Wasabi because they don't recognize. There's something inside that tells it it's not a Canon battery, and so the Canon chargers won't work. Now the Wasabi charger will charge a Canon battery. Canon chargers won't charge a Wasabi battery. Yeah. Batteries marked as genuine but were fakes. That's yes. So if you're going to go to the trouble to make a product, why wouldn't you put your name on it? I really don't understand the whole mentality behind, like, this bag. If they had been trying to charge, let's say even $80, then I could understand. They're trying to make money off somebody else's name. But they're not. So were your batteries being sold at the price that battery would have been sold at? Batteries were marked as genuine, had chips, but were fakes. So did you get a good deal, or were they the same price as the genuine? Because, I mean, if they're doing a knockoff and they're selling it for the same price as the genuine article, it would be harder to tell, I think. But when you see something for $26, you know it's a fake. So, like the Canon batteries for my 90D, it took that big, what's it called? Was it an E6? I'm trying to think. But anyway, it took the big battery, and those were like $60 a piece. Now, I never saw anything that said it was a Canon battery. The Wasabis said they worked worked the same as, which they worked in the camera fine, and the camera recognized it. It was just the charger didn't. Or it says fakes were pretty close to genuine battery price. Okay, so now my question is, how did you know they were a fake? Now, Roy has a lot of experience with cameras. I mean, a lot. I would say Randy's getting real close to Roy's level of expertise, but Roy has expertise from way back, right? So I fully trust his judgment when he says it was marked as a genuine, but it was a fake. I know he knows how to tell the difference, just like I do on the bags, right? So, but I'm just curious. It says Amazon has many fake items. Do they? Yeah, well, yes, they do. But generally you can tell by the price. If it's too good, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I'm just going to throw that out there. Now, I could put this on Marketplace and sell it as a Bellroy bag. I could do just like they did on that website. I wouldn't even have to say it was a Bellroy. Just take pictures. It's right there. And I could probably get $60 out of it. That would be very dishonest on my part. So, Fake batteries, way less, and the hologram looks fake. Okay. I was kind of wondering about that because now the only battery I think that I have that has a hologram is the Sony battery. I don't think any of the Canon batteries have a hologram on them. I could be wrong. I'm trying to think, but I don't think they do. I have used dummy batteries for so long, it's been a minute since I've seen an actual battery for the camera, but I don't, and when I store them, I don't keep batteries in them. So, and I've heard good and bad things about that. I've heard you can lose the internal battery, can wear out or die or whatever, and then you've got to take it to a camera store and have them fix it, put a new battery in. So I didn't even know that cameras had an internal battery. I thought the battery you put in was the battery, but apparently there's an internal battery in cameras. See, I learned so much, and I can't remember now who told me about that. But when they told me, I was like, "Ooh, maybe I need to keep a battery in it," and just kind of make a mental note to change it out every couple of weeks. But so far, knock on wood, so far everything has been fine, and every time I put a battery in them, they come on just like they're supposed to. So there's one of the M6s that resets the time and date every time. So I think that battery may be getting low, the internal battery, but I don't know how to change it. So I would have to take it to a camera store and say, "Hey, fix my camera. It needs a new battery." But at least I would know what the problem is, right? So, well, I don't know if Jeff is going to make it in. What time is it? 9:38. I don't know. Our emails got... Roy, what time is it there right now? Because he's in your time zone, isn't he? He was saying he wasn't available before noon, his time. So I thought it was like 2 o'clock-ish. So it'd be like 2:39-ish in Australia tomorrow afternoon. So I'm on Wednesday afternoon in Australia. Yeah. But I never heard back from him, so I don't know. We kind of shot emails back and forth a little bit, and then I haven't heard. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's 12:39. Oh, okay. I thought it was a couple hours later. So he may still be tied up. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know if he can put photos up on his end or if I have to do it on my end. So we were going to kind of try to figure that out tonight. But he had a really, really good time in Turkey. And apparently there's two sides of Turkey. There's well, I'll let him explain it. But he met some really nice people, and he's still exchanging emails with them even now that he's back home. So he's made some good, met some nice people. Royce, oh, I guess I could have put this up there. It's 12:39. Okay. Wednesday afternoon, right? It's lunchtime. Yes. Yes, and it's way past our dinner time. So I just think that's so cool. Yeah, I don't know how that works with yeah, I don't know. It kind of blows my mind to think about it. It seems like you would know half a day or a day and a half ahead of us when something's happening, but in reality, you don't. If something happens, even though it happens at 7 p.m. my time, the same thing happens at noon your time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you get the lottery numbers a day and a half early. Although that'd be crazy if you did. Yeah. Be some rich people over here. But so if he was tied up until noon, then I'm sure he's still tied up. So he hadn't tried to come on. But that's pretty much all I had for you guys tonight, was how to tell a fake and would you buy a fake? I mean, no, knowing it was a fake and saving 70%, would you buy a fake? Or would you just buy another comparably cheap brand? Because that's kind of my thing is I bought this to compare it, okay, and to see how far off the actual Bellroy it was. But rather than actually buy this for myself, I would probably look for a bag that had everything in it I wanted, but did not have a brand name. I mean, if I wanted a $20 sling bag, there's a plethora of ones to choose from. I don't think I would, well, I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't buy, I might buy a cheap bag, but I wouldn't buy a fake, if that makes sense. So, because I really think that's a bad practice. But Roy says, I'll buy cheap gear, but not deliberate fakes. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say, and you said it so eloquently. Thank you. And there's Flying Toast. I'm tempted to buy a fake Milwaukee battery just to see how they hold up. Well, I will tell you from experience, working in a hardware store for 18 years, that my experience, it wasn't with Milwaukee's, it was with DeWalt. So batteries that fit the DeWalt tools but are not made by DeWalt, they do not last as long. They will fit, they will turn the tool on, but they, like my drill, when I charge up my drill, I can usually get about 4 steady hours out of, now when I say steady, I don't mean with it constantly on, but I mean if I'm hanging drywall or whatever, I can usually get about 4 hours of heavy use out of it. And with a non-DeWalt battery, you're lucky if you get 20 minutes. So I do have some experience with fake DeWalt batteries because I was trying to save some money. I mean, the set 2 batteries for my drill is like $150. So I was trying to save a little bit of money, and I will never do that again. So I think one of my batteries blew up. One of my DeWalt batteries got too hot and it expanded on the charger. It didn't blow up, but I mean, it bulged. So wasn't about to put that back in my drill. But yeah, so I would say no. If you can only buy one at a time, just buy one at a time. But I have not had good luck with fake batteries for the DeWalt. Let's put it that way. Now, I'm assuming the same people that make the fake for the DeWalt make the fakes for the Milwaukee. So there's a lot of difference between something like that, where you want that tool to work or you want that camera to work, and a bag that does nothing but hold your stuff. So if the zippers fail, like Randy said, you can either cut into it, you can rip the zipper out like I do, and then you just throw the bag away. And it's not a big deal. If it comes to when I take my drill on a job, I expect it to work. Now, if the drill fails, if the tool itself fails, that's a whole nother story. But if it stops working because I've gone cheap and gotten a cheap battery and the battery failed, then that's shame on me. Okay, so Randy says, good night, everyone. Have a great week and a new month. Yes, tomorrow is the beginning of October. Cheers. And he's got a blue, see, it doesn't show up here, Randy. It shows up in words. Penguin blue waving tear. Penguin, a blue, I'm assuming it's a blue penguin. Because it doesn't show the actual, well, it shows Roy's kangaroo. Why didn't it show your penguin? I don't know. Cheers, Randy. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Roy says, cheap batteries that expand while charging in the camera destroy the camera. Yes. I never charge a battery in anything except my phone, and I can't take the battery out of my phone. So I always charge them out. Randy says, I thought it was a ghost. Well, it says penguin blue waving tear. Or tear. You know, the English language is confusing. But, yeah, it didn't say anything about a ghost. Yes, but tomorrow I put out I have a little blow-up witch thing I set on the front porch. And we're going to the pumpkin patch on the 14th. And then I don't know if Little Man's going to carve his pumpkins here or at his mom's. I don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. I will be home for Thanksgiving this year. I will be going out to Las Vegas in the first part of December. So, yeah, and then the house hasn't sold, so we won't be going to Kentucky until it does. But we got a couple of trips coming up, and it's kind of the Kentucky thing is for all the hard work of getting the house ready to sell. The house is completely empty. Everything is ready because I thought we were closing Friday. So everything is done. Now it's just making trip after trip after trip of showing it to people. So I thought I had 10 people signed up Monday and 3 showed up. And that's just part of it. I've been stood up more times than I can shake a stick at. People saying, you know, they want to come at a certain time, and I drive all the way down there, and then they never show up. So that's just part of trying to sell a house. I mean, it's not a big deal, but the abstract is up to date. Everything's ready to go. It's just finding a buyer. So, and once we close, and I have that check in my hot little hand, then we will go to Kentucky. So everybody keep me in your prayers that I find that he sends a buyer to me quickly. Roy says, my kangaroo can't spell yet. Well, Roy, I saw a video where a kangaroo had hold of a dog. Okay. And this poor dog he was on the losing end of this deal. And the kangaroo had one arm like around the dog, holding on to this dog. And the owner comes up and he starts hitting the kangaroo. So what does the kangaroo do? He lets go of the dog and he starts hitting the guy back. It was hilarious. It was the funniest video. I cracked up. I watched it 2 or 3 times. It was making me laugh so much. Obviously nobody got hurt. The kangaroo was not hurt, but it was just hilarious. And the dog, once he's loose, he runs around behind the owner and he's like cheering him on, but he's not about to get close to that kangaroo. It was hilarious. So I wonder if Lucky would, like, if he would do that with Randy, like run and hide behind Randy, be like, go get him, bud, go get him. Yeah. So I saw this in one of Randy's videos, I saw this huge crate that has not been there before. So I'm thinking this is Lucky's new timeout home. It looked like, I mean, it was plenty big enough. It was like big. Yeah. So, Roy says kangaroos drag dogs into water and drown them. Well, he wasn't around any water. This was like out, like in a field or in a pasture or whatever. But man, he had that dog, you know, in a headlock. And the guy he ran up to him and he just he just started punching him, and it did get the kangaroo to drop the dog. So yeah, that was fun. Randy says it's his home now and dog space. I'm telling you, Inte, if you'll take a blanket and put a blanket over the top and down the sides, and down the back to where just the part with the door is open, it's very soothing to them. So they do feel like that's their spot, and they're safe there. Nothing can get to them. And Inte is not crated anymore, but when he was younger, from like a puppy to probably 3 or 4, he had his crate. So now he just kind of, he's an old dog now, so he goes pretty much wherever Grant goes except to work. So Randy says, I put a blanket and he chewed it up. There is that, okay, until he learns that that's like his, and he will, because Inte did the same thing. He'll pull the thing off, and he'll pull as much of it in the cage as he can possibly get, and it takes a little while. Plus, Lucky is still in that chewing stage, and so he's going to chew on everything that you don't want him to. My neighbor adopted a dog that a lady had left, and it's a puppy. It's probably 6 or 7 months old, and the thing chewed everything. His computer cables, his TV cable, his lamp cord. I don't know how the dog did not get electrocuted, but he chewed everything. And so he was kind of in the doghouse for a little bit. But he's got 2 older dogs, and he thought that the puppy would kind of imitate the older dogs and just kind of chill. Well, puppies don't chill. It's just not in them. They just, they're not adult dogs. They're just puppies. Royce says male kangaroos are only dangerous in mating season. I don't know, Roy. I just don't think I would want to come face to face with one. Because have you seen their feet? I mean, one kick and I'd be... Yeah, so I would like to see one from afar. I don't think I want to get close up and personal and punch one. How about that? A dog cave? That's cute, Randy. Yeah, I mean, it's just part of having a puppy. It's like having a kid. That's just... They're gonna get into stuff that they probably shouldn't, and annoy and aggravate you, but they also offer you a whole lot of love. So you kind of have to take some of the chewing for all the companionship that they bring you. So, has your cat adjusted? That's the big question. Does Dusty like Lucky? I am not home enough still. When I was working, I wasn't home enough to have an animal. And even though I'm home more now, I'm still not, I don't want an animal because I'm not, if I want to get up and go to Oklahoma City or go to Missouri or whatever, I don't have to worry about a pet. So, yeah, that's why I'm pet free. But it's not because I don't love them, because I do. I just don't want the responsibility of having to take care of one. Roy says, I get kangaroo visits most mornings. Really? See, we used to get deer. Deer would walk ridiculously close to the house. And I never could understand. I mean, they didn't stop and want food. It was just kind of I think they're curious. And so we would get deer. Randy says, Dusty can't stand him. Ooh. Does he get the squat every time he goes by? We used to have some cats, and a golden retriever, and the cats would sit up. Of course, golden retrievers are kind of tall, and the cats would sit on something, and as he walked by, they would swipe at him. It was hilarious. He never did anything to the cats, but it was just that we're not going to like you because we're a cat and you're a dog, mentality. Roy says, I need more kangaroos. The grass is getting too long. Oh, do they eat the grass like a goat? See, I've thought it would be nice. My yard man in Muskogee is mowing, and he's doing a fantastic job, but there's an area he can't get his mower into, and so he just doesn't mow it. And so now it looks like a jungle. And, I spent years keeping all that trim back and making it all look nice, and it doesn't look so nice right now. But the rest of the yard looks great. It's just that one area he can't get his mower back there to get to. So I may, since I still own the house, I may go down and work on it a little bit. And the weather is cooling off. So I think the high today was 83. It felt a little warmer, but it didn't feel at all like when it was like 95, 98 degrees. It was a pleasant warm, right? It made me kind of wish I was near some water somewhere. But from all the rain we've had, the rivers have not been too terribly safe to go kayaking. So the more it rains, the faster the rivers run, the higher they rise. So it hasn't really been river weather. And the more rain you get and the higher the lakes get, the more snakes come out, because the water is getting their nest wet, and so they're trying to get to higher ground, so you have more snakes out. I'm not a fan of snakes either, so just letting you know that. But yeah, that's cool. I didn't know they ate grass. Dusty is scared of Lucky. What a wimp. So if you were to take Dusty and hold him and introduce him to Lucky, he wouldn't like that? Yeah, probably not. Cats are funny creatures. I love them to pieces, but they are independent and opinionated. And if they decide they don't like something, you're not going to change their mind. So that's pretty cool. Well, fellas, I don't think Jeff is going to make an appearance. So we will catch him next week. We'll get this lined out. I've also got in the works, we may have a guest or two to talk about bags. I don't know if that's something you guys would be interested in. I'm sure you get tired of just listening to me, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, there he is. Just as I was getting ready to sign off. Good day. Sly just arrived home from exercise physiologist who's helping me home. It's crazy here. Flat out like a lizard's drinking here. I love you Australian guys. That is flat out like a lizard's drinking here. That is something that I could use that. Jeff, thank you. I could work that into a thing. That it was flat out like a lizard's drinking. Oh, that's about as good as winter chicken dinner. I like that. Okay. Well, Jeff, send me, I think we're going to have me put the pictures up. I don't think you can do it as a guest. So, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but if you can, I don't know how to do that. So I think I have to put the pictures up as, like, I can put them up and then you can voice over. So let's do it next week, and we'll just plan on it. And send me, 8 or 10 pictures, your favorites, and we'll let you narrate the trip. So, because I'm anxious to see them. I've never been to Turkey. And from what Jeff says, it was quite an experience. So yes, let's leave it till next week. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Like I said, keep me in your prayers about the stinking house. Hopefully it'll get sold soon. I had 3 people come and look at it, and none of them were really interested. So I don't know what's going on with the housing market right now, because at the beginning of summer, it was like I had more offers than I could shake a stick at. So it seems like it's kind of cooled down. That may be the time of year too, but I really don't want to keep that house till next spring, if you know what I mean. But y'all have a fantastic week, and if I find any more fakes, I will certainly let you know. Do y'all have a Target in Australia? I never thought about what kind of stores you have over there. Jeff says I can upload to OneDrive and send a link. If not, can come on and you can ask me. Okay. I think I have to load the pictures to get them in the scene. I think. I could be wrong, but that's the only way I know how to do it, just off the top of my head. So, Royce says, Jeff, OneDrive is sometimes a problem. So I know if it's a big file, there's WeTransfer, and you can send them to me. If it's too much for an email, you can send it to me via WeTransfer, and it's free. I don't know. I'll email you, Jeff, because I'm gonna have to log in and see how I had that set up. So I think it's Slyreader, but I'll have to double check. And Roy says, yes, we have Target. That's cool. It's when we went to Kansas, they have a lot of stores up there that we don't have, like Menards. We don't have a Menards here. Now I hear they're coming, and we just got a Shields a couple of years ago, which has been, that's a big sporting goods store up north, but we just got one. And Jess says, yes, please. Okay. Yeah, we will make that happen next week, Jeff. And I'm so sorry. I will check my email more often this week. Okay, I'm not the best at checking my email. It's just, I get my email on the PC, and this is, in my mind, this is my grandson's computer, and so I really don't get on it that often. And then when I do, I've got I'm inundated with emails and everything. So there were several comments on YouTube that I didn't see either. So I need to make that a priority. But there's been a lot going on. So, but guys, have a fantastic week. And I will see everybody next Tuesday. And Jeff, we will make that happen. So we will have Jeff's pictures of turkey to show you guys. I'm excited to see him. And then I am working on a couple of collaborations with some bag people. So if that's something you guys would be interested in, it's always kind of fun to see somebody else's point of view. But until then, guys, have a great week. And just when you're out and about for absolutely no reason, just smile at somebody. It makes them wonder what you're doing. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Just give me to the week. I'm going through the photos. That's fine, Jeff. Just take your time. You're good. And I will see everybody next week. Good night, guys.